Shifting now to the Lakers. So this is kind of a segue because J.J. Redick was talking after the game. J.J. Redick, second-year head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, was talking about some of the issues that has plagued this team as of late. Take a listen.
The trend I see is that we continue to be a terrible third-quarter team to start. That was last year. That was the preseason. Got to rethink some things, and it's a two-way thing with the guys. What do they need at halftime to make sure they're ready to play? They're not ready to play to start the third quarter.
So that is true. I will say in his defense, he is facing the Golden State Warriors. His Lakers are facing the Golden State Warriors, who aren't they kind of known for their big third quarter runs because Steve Kerr is. I will give Eric Spoelstra the respect based on what he's worked with in Miami as the best coach in basketball. I think Steve Kerr, with respect to Ty Lue, Steve Kerr's number 2. Steve Kerr's proven just halftime adjustments on the fly. He made one of the greatest lineup changes in the history of the finals back in 2015 when he inserted Iguodala, as you see Iguodala's book back there, into the starting lineup off the bench. Like, Kerr's an all-time great coach. All-time great coach. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that if you're a Lakers fan. I think J.J. Redick's smart. I think he's going to get it right. Here's the positive and the negative. Let's start with the positive. Luka looked unbelievable. Let's show you what Luka did last night against the Lakers. He cooked us in every way, shape, and form. A near 40-point triple-double. 43 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. By the way, 2 steals and a block. Hasn't that always been the knock on Luka? Not that he's a bad defender, but it's like he doesn't even try on the defensive end. Well, he did last night. He put the effort in. 2 steals, a block, 17 and 27 for the field. 2 for 10 from 3, which obviously isn't good, but that tells you, and it showed it just by the eye test last night, every time he drove in the paint, we couldn't stop him. Luka's always a great finisher down low. He's very, very strong. And as we saw off season, as we saw when he was on the cover of Men's Health magazine, he's in phenomenal shape. He looks great. And so you look at this guy, you look at the step back 3 ability, you look at the some of the touch and the tough finishes that he has inside the paint. This is a guy who is on a mission. This is why I predicted yesterday on the show that he would be league MVP. Because there's the motivation and the storyline. This is kind of the second reason, but the motivation / storyline kind of intermingling here, where Dallas, a team that he'd taken to 2 Western Conference Finals and a Finals, he was Dallas's son. He's from Slovenia, but he was Dallas's adopted son to a certain degree. And they shipped him out because he's fat, he drinks too much, he doesn't care about. And that crushed Luka. You saw it in his reaction to the tribute video back in April when he returned to Dallas. It crushed him. Shocked the rest of us, obviously. It crushed the city of Dallas. So there's okay, I'm out of shape. Okay, let me get in. You look what I did to you when I was out of shape. Wait till I get in shape, what I'm going to do to y'all. And I think I'm not saying he's going to average 43 a game. That's a bit much. That's not going to happen. But 33, 34 a game on good efficiency, giving about 8 rebounds, 8 assists, somewhere in that ballpark a game. Luka's going to be the MVP this year. And partly, and this is kind of the bad news for the Lakers, because he's going to have to carry a bigger load. When you watch last night, obviously you're thinking, God, if LeBron was out there, this would change everything for the Lakers. And that's true. But I watched last night, and I'm thinking, because LeBron's a more athletic Luka Doncic, to say the very least. Even to this day, he's more athletic than Luka. But they do have very similar playing styles in the sense that they are ball dominant, but they do love to dish the rock if they draw a double team. Great passers. LeBron's one of the greatest passers ever, but Luka's an excellent passer in his own right. That's why his assist numbers are so high. Where are the shooters on the Lakers? I mean, you're going to rely on Marcus Smart to hit a big wing 3 in a playoff game or in a big game against, Denver or Golden State or the Timberwolves or the Thunder or Rockets. You're going to trust that guy? Marcus Smart, classic Marcus Smart. He's flopping all over the place. It's, again, classic Marcus Smart. You trust some of these guys to hit big corner threes in big spots. Rui Hachimura can hit the 3. Austin Reeves is a good 3-point shooter and a good number 3 option on that basketball team. But beyond that, who do you got? Also bad news, and I'm going to call this right now. October 22nd, 2025. I'm calling it right now. Be it Lakers fans / LeBron fans, there's always a scapegoat. And the scapegoat tends to be that number 3 guy. And people like say, well, is it Austin Reeves? Austin Reeves is the 3rd best player in the Lakers. He's not the 3rd most important player to the Lakers. If this team wants to go anywhere and have any type of success, they got to get some play from their center. Obviously, LeBron's not taking the blame. Or not taking the blame. LeBron's not taking the fans' criticism. Luka's not taking the fans' criticism. Austin Reeves probably won't. So who does that leave? Deandre Ayton, who last night, the 4 turnovers, he's fumbling the basketball in the paint, at times look like he's struggling to get a shot up against what I hear is the smaller Warriors. I'm telling you, this is a guy who energy isn't always the best. This is why him and Monty Williams clashed in Phoenix. This is why when you are a 16 and 10 guy, just an automatic double-double a night. Trailblazers got all this young talent they're building and they got some nice pieces, and they could not wait to ship your butt out of town. Not the greatest look in the world. Effort's always been a concern with Deandre Ayton. His ability to play big. What do you have? Only 6 rebounds last night? Luka out-rebounded him. And Luka's rebounds has always been higher than most guards, but still, come on. So that's a big issue for this Los Angeles Lakers team. This guy, I'm telling you, Lakers needed size and they got it. Having Deandre Ayton's much better than having Jackson Hayes as your starting 5, okay? He's going to be the scapegoat. Fumbles the basketball in the paint, struggles to hold on to it at times. This is going to be an issue for this Los Angeles Lakers basketball team. There's no question about it. But honestly, I look at this team, barring some sort of gigantic trade, which that's code for if they get Giannis, which they're obviously not, then all the assets to do it. This feels like they could probably win a playoff series. Just on the back of Luka's greatness and LeBron being big in key spots, they could win a playoff series. Beyond that, they can't compete with the size and athleticism of Houston or of Oklahoma City, or they certainly can't deal with the shooting and the defense of Golden State and Minnesota. Did we not just see what happened in the playoffs with the Timberwolves last year? So, and that series was closer than the gentleman sweep would tell you. Still, LeBron's now a year older. Anthony Edwards is a year older, which those obviously work in reverse ways. But excuse me, I wasn't terribly shocked. Obviously, would have looked better if LeBron was out there. Not sure the outcome would have been different. And B, even when LeBron does come back in about a month, they're a good team. They're absolutely a playoff team. No question about it. I don't think they'll have to participate in the play-in tournament, which has got to become a staple for the Lakers since the play-in tournament was instituted back in 2021. I don't see anything special about this team. I see a special player in Luka. I see a player in LeBron James who's still easily top 15 in the NBA. Beyond that, Jared Vanderbilt can defend, is a net negative on the offensive end. Austin Reeves, decent on the defensive end, can get his own shot, but we saw what he did in the playoffs last year against Minnesota. Really, really struggled. Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton fumbles the basketball in the paint. JJ Redick, inexperienced coach, going against the likes of, in the postseason, a Steve Kerr, a Chris Finch, a Mark Dagnall, Ime Udoka. That's not something that you necessarily want to see if you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.